Hello and welcome to ClovenCast, the podcast show where we have no intro. I'm Spirit, and would the lovely co-hosts of this show like to introduce themselves?
Hi, I'm Christy. Oh my god.
Hi, I'm Springheart.
Spring, why are you recording an ASMR video?
Well, you said lovely, so I did a lovely voice. I'm sorry.
We get to the ASMR video in season 2 or whatever.
Okay.
Spring!
I'll go
That
to the
wasn't me!
corner. That was me. I'll go to the corner.
Yada yada.
We're just here to confuse Spirit real quick with the ASMR voice. Another bad habit of ours.
Sorry.
So, Christy, would you like to tell the kids in the audience about the bad art habits we're going to talk about today?
We are displaying why we're bad artists because we have all these bad habits that we like to do and stuff.
Insert sunglasses here. Chrissy, would you like to go first?
Yes, I will. I'm bad at organizing myself and finding time to actually make art because I'm lazy.
Mm.
Honestly, my worst habit that I can say is mostly based on setting aside time to make art rather than like the art itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because organization and getting yourself motivated is one of the biggest aspects for me for actually making art, because I can make art, but I have a bad habit of only wanting to make art when it's the right time, which is something I want to work on for 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Because frankly, I hate how little art I tend to post because I'm either super busy with other stuff or I'm too exhausted to do it that day. And even when I actually have time, I just don't make anything. And I hate that about myself. Not saying that breaks are bad or anything, or, it's just because I don't take a break. No, I take too many breaks. I need to actually make more time to make art instead of just like going to my room and automatically just turning on Netflix because I'd rather watch freaking Carol and Tuesday instead of making art.
So you want to like put time aside specifically for art?
Yep.
That's a good plan.
Yes it is. That's all I got, honestly. I don't have much.
Okay, well,
I don't have much.
All right, that's fair. I guess I'll take over. I'll take the one brain cell.
Here you go.
That we've borrowed.
You'll take the one brain cell.
Yeah, we took it from Ramcon. We're borrowing it.
I'm the one who made it, so go ahead.
Okay, fair. So one of my bad habits of art, and this has been following me since high school, is not thinking while I draw. Literally, just being like, I will put pen to paper and then I will make beautiful art. Like, but in my brain, it is just like it is a line. My brain is like deadlined. There's nothing like, how does the curve of the face go if the head is looking upward? How do I want the expression to go? None of that is going through my brain. My brain is just like, if I make lines, it'll look beautiful. Like that is a bad habit of mine that over the last couple of years I've realized I've been doing. And so yes, I need to think while I draw, and also look up reference because that helps me make sure that my brain hasn't gone to sleep. Yeah, just think while you draw. Like, is the arm bent so that there's a little a TikTok video said like there, like, and I quote, wrinkled butts of the clothing in the corner of the armpit if the the elbow is closed. So like wrinkle butts. Like I can't believe they call it that. It's hilarious. But yeah, just is the clothing folded in a certain way because the character's standing a certain way. Eyebrows look a certain way because they're having a certain expression. Like, don't just give them like a generic blank face. That's boring. Just liven it up. How's their hair sitting? Do they have curly straight hair? Like, it's so much brain power goes into drawing, and I wasn't doing any of it before. I'm just like, I'm gonna draw a pony. I'm gonna do it, and I do it, and then it was just like no life was put into this drawing, and it was very apparent. It made me sad. So yeah, bad art habit, not thinking while drawing. You gotta think while you draw.
Okay, I need to add on to that real quick. Yeah,
Proceed.
that's actually another kind of bad habit because whenever I think, okay, I'm just gonna draw this character, sometimes I feel like I should make like more of a scene or like add more life into it than just like, oh, here's a drawing of this character that I like. But I never do it, and I hate myself for it.
Aww.
So I guess that's another thing I should. Well, I don't hate myself for it, but then I think to myself, oh, it would be cool if they were interacting with their environment a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's something I also need to work on in terms of creation.
Like
Honestly,
backgrounds? Spirit?
Well,
Yes.
Honestly, I was just gonna say, I think that's a pretty common thing for a lot of people, and I do it too, and I hate that I do it because I feel like I should be doing better, but it's like when you fall into a line of habit where it's just going off of what you know rather than like going out and observing. And that's kind of the thing, is that even like when you get like super practiced, you start developing little habits and methods, and then if you're not careful, you get kind of locked in to how you're doing it, you know? I think mine's kind of, I've got a few of them. But I think the first one that honestly comes to mind is that it's kind of a tangent of what we're talking about, is that I think I've gotten too used to working with just digital art because I've been at home all the time.
Oh.
And so I've got limited space. So I haven't been able to do I don't have access to the labs or anything like that. So I don't have the space or the means to do traditional stuff like charcoal or anything like that. And I feel like I feel like I'm losing that skill almost, because to quote my my storyboarding professor of all things, is that drawing is an expirable skill, and the way that you keep it from going away is you basically keep renewing and working on it. And I can't remember the last time that I've done something proper like traditional media.
Yeah, I remember when I first started like going into traditional work after working in digital for so long, because I'm a studio artist. I can work in both mediums. However, I remember how hard it was to like get back into that traditional groove, because sometimes you forget you can't just like add all these filters or add Control Z and all that. So I completely understand where you're coming from in that form.
I don't remember the last time I painted.
I painted back in December. It was terrible. And mostly because it was oil painting, but yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have to make it like a goal for 2021 that all of us break back into traditional media more?
No, I've already done that. I'm still doing that. I'm going to be working in ceramics this semester.
Ooh.
Oh Lord, wish me luck. I don't know how to do pottery.
I think... Actually, Spirit, do you have any other...
I think,
Any other?
I mean, I could talk about a few habits that I've noticed from, like, my students as well.
Yeah, throw them out there.
Because this is not like a call-out post. This is something that I've just noticed that I want to kind of encourage people to understand and everything like that. And I don't want to make the entire... entire episode my inputs, but
I mean,
Yeah.
I could throw one out there as well, but go ahead.
I think so I have a student in a sense where he is so worried about getting stuff done. Like there's a difference between laziness and not being able to not having the time because like when someone like okay, let me rephrase this. Is that so artists, full-time artists are very rare.
Hmm.
Hmm.
That's just a fact of life. Most artists usually have a day job where we go, and whether you work in retail, whether you work for an office job, whatever you do, being a full-time artist and doing that, like just making art all day, is incredibly rare. Like even for people in the professional industry. Most of my professors are artists and creators who work for studios and everything like that or do their own thing, but they also teach to earn extra income. So I think one of the things that, and I don't want to make doing art full time seem like a pipe dream,
Hmm.
but it's very difficult to do art full time because it means that you're spending a lot of time in your own little bubble and you're not going out and getting any new information. Like even the little mundane things. Just having that office job is getting you into a new environment where you're going in and you're interacting with people and you're absorbing new information every day. But from
Hmm.
my
Hmm.
experience, working from home as an artist becomes not only incredibly boring, but it can get very stagnant very quickly if you don't have any sort of new stimuli in your life.
And I will say this as someone who um can't work out in the real world due to health issues. It sucks. Okay? Go out and take that second job because you can't do art full time. Don't Working from home, like you miss out on like social interactions and like meeting new people. Like it's it might suck that you don't get to do the thing you want to do your with your life full time, but like there's other benefits to that other job
Hmm.
that you get that aren't just, a paycheck.
And I think people don't often realize like the benefits of it, like because, and I think Christy, I don't know if you would agree or disagree with me, but I think once you
Hmm.
start going, this is kind of the thing with art school that not a lot of people understand, and the same thing applies to when you're doing art as a job, is that
Yep.
when you start doing it as a job or as a student, it's your job. It's not really something that you enjoy as much as you used to.
I
Because
completely agree because I've had moments where it's like I'm not enjoying what I'm doing anymore because it's a job, and also at the same time because it's not a traditional job, the people around me treat it like, "Oh, it's just fun. You get to throw paint at a wall or something."
Yep.
Because that's just
yes.
how they see it versus how I see it, because I don't see it as, oh, this is something fun because it's work. It's also something that I'm currently like trying to strive to improve upon as time goes on, because you can't be the very best, like no one ever was, if you're just throwing paint at a wall with no rhyme or reason.
Yeah, like when I was doing technical theater, like yeah, I was throwing paint on a floor and I was enjoying it, but it was still a job. I had to meet a certain criteria. Um and I had to please the
Asses.
person who made the design. Like I couldn't just, throw paint and be like, "Haha." Um I had like they had a vision, I had to fulfill it, and
Yeah.
if I didn't do it, I got fired. Like it's a job.
Hmm. And some people just don't realize that just because you're in a creative field doesn't mean that, oh, you're just going to spend your day like sucking on your pencil or whatever. I don't know what people think
No.
about, like, you know what I mean though when I
Yeah.
say this, right? Yeah.
Well, and I think it's kind of the
You're not
outsider perspective you know.
Because no matter what job you take, there's always some kind of challenge to it.
Yeah,
No?
it's a very, at least for what I was doing, it was a very hands-on sort of job. Um, a lot of, yeah, it's just it was different than, like, working retail or that sort of thing, but I still had to, you know, meet someone else's vision, and like I had to, build props and all that jazz, but
That's the point of the job, and I
yeah.
completely agree. I don't like traditional jobs like working at Wendy's, for example,
Oh
but
gosh.
yeah, that was a nightmare.
Yeah, I
But I see
retail
the
just makes me
importance
stressed.
of, but I do see the importance of working in a job like that,
Yeah.
especially from like a working perspective, because I needed to build that a little bit, although it did not last in my case because, well, yeah,
Mhm.
it's very hard to work in a place specific towards the Wendy's I worked at, and I believe I've told you guys the story about the ghetto Wendy's.
Mhm.
Yeah, you told us about it
Yeah.
in the retail episode, right?
Yeah, well, I told you one story about a guy like who flirted with me on that episode, but there's more. There was a lot of scandal. The police showed up like 5 times.
Good
Actually,
lord.
no, it's more like 4, but still, like within the 2 months I worked there. Well, two
Ah.
and a half months, but still.
Do I smell a retail horror
Well, the
stories too episode in the making?
Oh, I have a story I wasn't able to tell, so yeah.
we should add that
Yeah.
on
All right,
Um
people in the
to our
comments, let us know
list.
if you want that.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
please let us know.
rounding back, there was another habit I have. Drawing your character in a straight pose where they're just standing and looking forward. No expression.
Spring, why you call me out like that?
No, I'm calling myself out. I did this for years. Um, don't like you can do it like once or twice, but like you need to, change it up because that doesn't teach you anything about drawing. It's yeah, no, you got to change that up. Do some dynamic. You don't they don't have to be like jumping through the air or crazy stuff, but like the straight board standing in one position, arms down, or like hands on hips, like that's, and blank expression. That's not going to teach you anything about drawing if you want to draw.
It's good
Um,
about, like, if you're creating a concept design for the character,
Yeah.
but, like, it doesn't work if you're trying to expand your horizons.
Yes.
I find myself almost never doing that. The most I do, like when it comes to like something like that, is usually my expressions are, "Hey, the character is looking at the viewer with a smile" or something. I need to work on like more expressions and stuff. But
Yeah.
posing, I don't have a problem with because I'm going to use a cooking analogy, I guess. Once
Mhm.
you learn to make a French omelet and that's the only thing you make, yeah, it's kind of hard to dial back into the Western style.
Omelette du
And yes,
fromage.
that literally happened to me actually. And I know it has nothing to do with art, but I noticed that it's an aspect that I notice about myself. That once I figure out something and I have that revelation, I keep doing that revelation to the point where it's become a bad habit.
Mm.
Oh, I did mugs for a while. Mugs were my comfort thing to draw. I don't know why, but a lot of my art, if you go back and look at my art, like DA, it's like there's a mug, there's a mug, there's also a mug.
My
Why are there
Little
so many
Pony
mugs?
My Little Pony used to be my comfort zone when it
Mhm.
came to like doing art. That was another reason why I decided to stop drawing ponies in a nutshell. Uh, like on top of being kind of sick of like the franchise itself, there was a point in the middle of my career after like one of the BronyCons when I realized, huh, this is all I ever draw. I need
Mhm.
to like step it up. I need to do something new because or else I'm probably not going to be able to draw anything else other than this.
Yes. Okay. So I want to jump on this. So I also realized all I was drawing was ponies, and I started to draw not ponies, and my hands like didn't know what to do with themselves when I tried to draw humans because I was so used to drawing ponies. So like if you draw like one specific thing, you need to expand your horizons a little bit because your hands are just gonna be stuck in that mode.
Yeah, I'm getting into
scary.
that habit too with Pokemon now because all I want to draw now is Pokemon.
But the thing is like with Pokemon, they're all different shapes, right? They're not just like horse, right?
Yeah, but I feel like I need to draw like other characters in video games and whatnot because I have like 100 Pokemon pictures on my DeviantArt and have like
Okay. Well,
13
yeah.
pictures of other video game fandoms.
I
mean,
like
if you want to draw other stuff, that's fine.
I feel like this entire video is just telling me I need to stop drawing hot men.
I need to start drawing hot men because all I can draw is hot women.
Okay,
I
tell you what, we'll trade. You can draw men and I'll draw women. And then we'll
I drew a hot man and I don't know how to deal with it.
Welcome to the realm of husbando.
The hottest man I drew is actually your character spirit, like Cassiel from like D&D. That's the best man I ever drew.
Yes, the twonk. Who ended up
That's
going...
like the only man I know that I've drawn. Maybe I need to draw Lupin the Third because that guy's moi. I don't know.
I'm not gonna question this. There's a lot of hot men in that.
You know what we'll do? We'll have to dedicate an entire episode just talking about husbandos.
Lupin the Third. Lupin the Third specifically.
I'll talk about my
Vegan's
fishies.
my favorite. Vegan's my favorite, to be honest.
I like the guy who doesn't show his eyes.
Yeah, that's Jugan.
Yes.
That's Jugan.
So, I think, so wrapping up for the day, so what's our general points here? Like, just try not to be stagnant and try new things?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that's our main bad art habit. We like to stay in our comfort zone, and sometimes we need to step out of that because, well, sometimes being in your comfort zone is good for comfort, but at the same time, just stepping out of that, man, you step into, like, Atlantis at that point.
You improve so much if you step out.
Well, and the benefit
and then you can come back into the thing that you were comfortable with and be like, bruh, I have new skills, so you can look better than ever.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's kind of the benefit, is that I guess if we had to make a big point, is that the more you step out of the comfort zone, the bigger your comfort zone becomes.
Mm-hmm.
And the more well-rounded you become. So, Spring, do you have any final statements before we wrap up for the day?
Think while you draw.
Also, be sure to organize yourself and organize your desk, because if you're like me, you have trouble with that.
Ooh, I'm making a note of that right now. I want to talk about organizing for freelancers because I figured out a system. It might not work for everyone, but I want to share it at some point. I might make a TikTok on that.
Oh,
Sorry, go ahead, Spring.
I have a system too. We could talk about our systems.
I guess we'll make an episode about that.
I don't have a system, so I will be completely just
Chaos.
taking notes during the entire podcast if we ever decide to talk about organizing our system.
I guess, okay, someone make a note of that. That's going to have to be a future episode topic.
Yeah, it has to be now at this point.
But, yeah. So that's all for today's show. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video around. It supports us and is practically free. Be sure to tell us about your bad art habits in the comments below. We're interested in hearing from you. And be sure to check us out on Twitter, where we post updates about the show, and, well, sometimes we also post shit posts. But, yeah. So, once again, thank you all so much for watching. This is the ClovenCast, signing off.
Bye.
See ya!